At first, I will show you background knowledge. Then, well, we will give the IDP system these knowledge. Coherent background knowledge. A is a determinant, and dogs, cats are noun, or add to on is a preposition, big, small is adjective, and so on. But NP is constructed of data and noun, and NP is constructed of data and adjective and noun, and VP, VP is constructed of verb and adverb. Only 3 syntactic rules this system knows. And we'll give IRP system these text data. From this text data, IRP system acquire new unknown syntactic rules. So let's demonstrate. So this program works very fast. But there are many outputs. The conclusion is this IRP system find new syntactic rules. Sentence is constructed of noun and verb phrase. From this method, by this method, we can get many syntactic rules. So let's go back again. PowerPoint. Well, just wait. Okay. Just wait. Well, background knowledge is linguistic knowledge. Only 3 syntax. And this IRP system finds new syntactic rules from big data. Oh, sorry. Well, about during 1990s to 2000, unknown syntactic rules can be acquired automatically in batch mode from text data. This method was proposed by Magleton. But the problem is it takes too much amount of time. Well, I showed you a sample demonstration. It runs fast, but in my research, when I run the program for the real data, the IP system working at least one day, sometimes a week. Anyway, it takes too much amount of time. That's a big problem. So I proposed a fast IP algorithm around 2000. Well, output is the same. So I tell you my basic idea. Here's a programming text. And from here, IP system find a new syntactic rules. So I rewrite the program. So this is a program at the same time, the knowledge of the syntactic rules. I rewrite this description of syntactic rules into graphical one. This is the syntactic rules in Prolog. I convert this one to graphical description. And the problem has changed. This one is a problem to find the path. A is A, B is B. From A to B, S. So A, D, D, E, E, F, F, B. So sentence is constructed of NP, T verb, determinant, noun phrase. So such kind of problem. So from around 2000, first ILP algorithm was proposed by me. But around 2010, deep learning was proposed, and now I applied to many applications with big success. I agree with this. Why? Merits of deep learning. Deep learning can fairly easily applicable to create AIs available to various fields of application just using big data. So what we have to do is collecting big data. So data is the core for deep learning. And next one, many parameters are automatically tuned based on data. It's a very good point. And almost no previous knowledge on application field is necessary. So rule-based AI is overwhelmed by AI completely. What do you think of it? Well, my opinion is, it's my opinion, rule-based AI can be built automatically based on data. At least rule-based AI will be built automatically based on data because linguistic knowledge, unknown words can be extracted by Kameda method, and linguistic knowledge, unknown syntactic rules can be extracted by Magda method. My method is not yet perfect. That's a problem. And ILP system of Magda, it takes too much time. It's a problem. And now ILP system can be run faster by Kameda method. It runs faster, but it took much time. Still big problem. But I think software engineering approach should be applied to it. For example, Docker, Kubernetes, object-oriented, and so on and so on. Well, my final words. Deep learning is good, really good. I agree. For intelligent application creation, if you want to build an intelligent application, smart application, please use deep learning method if you have big data. Rule-based or knowledge-based approach is, I think, good to discover, describe, and organize large number of knowledge and useful to make academic knowledge richer and richer. So application creation, deep learning is useful. And we have to academic study. I think it's better to use rule-based AI system. And I mean, we can lead our own life affirmatively, independently, and actively by using rule-based approach because we can understand our real world in our own language, which is a brilliant tool of thought we have acquired since ancient times. I think why human being is intelligent. I believe human has language. We have language we can use language. So language is the core point of intelligence, I think. What do you think? Please think for yourselves and tell your opinion to me. Well, thank you very much. That's my talk. Anyway, language is very important. So AI should acquire language, I think. And the point is, really can AI acquire language? If possible, how can we build AI with ability of language? That's a very big problem, and it's a promising technology for our future. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please free to send me email kameda@staff.tscjp. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Kameda, for all the detailing into NLP. Assuredly, your in-depth comprehension has rendered complete clarity and immense knowledge to our participants and the delegates for the day. Now, I plead the speaker of plenary talk 1, Dr. Carlos Fernandez, to be apprised to the August gathering. Dr. Fernandez is the founder and the CEO of One Digital Consulting. Dr. Fernandez is also the chapter president of VR/AR Association. Dr. Fernandez is also the global co-chair of VR/AR Education Committee, Madrid. Dr. Fernandez is the member of ILRN Educators and NVR and several experts committees in XR in training, education, healthcare, cultural heritage, tourism, and smart cities. Dr. Fernandez has been the author of many publications, articles, and the white paper, which has been the best practice in VR in education by VR and AR Association. All over to Dr. Fernandez as a plenary talk 1 for the day.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, and can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank you all the organization of the contemporary issues in engineering and technology for this amazing event and Congress. And I will try to do my best trying to explain how immersive realities in Industry 4.0 ecosystem can help to accelerate the learning process with advanced technologies converged. Well, my name is Carlos Ochoa. I'm an engineer from the Polytechnic University of Madrid and MBA from Babson College. And as the presenter said, I'm the founder and CEO of One Digital Consulting and the president of VARA Association Madrid chapter and co-chair of Education Committee. I've been working for many years in several multinational companies in different management positions, like in Siemens, Agenti, Altran, and I was the founder of e-learning consulting. And now in my last trip, let's say, I'm the founder and owner of One Digital Consulting and the author of the white paper Best Practices in VR in Education and the State of Art of XR in Education that will be published very, very, very soon. So today I prepare a very tough agenda because I would like to share with you all the changes and all the new dramatical situations that are coming because the COVID pandemic situation. And one of the main examples is that we are located in our homes and universities or wherever. Today I'm located at home for several reasons. One is that it's snowing like crazy in Madrid. We have, I don't know, but maybe 40 centimeters of snow in the street. So we cannot move out, and because the pandemic, we are very close to lockdown. So during my presentation, I will talk about the current situation of the industry, the technology megatrends for 2021, the industry 4.0 challenges, the future scenario, how to bridging the gap between the industry and university, and how I can see the new road to success in developing talent ecosystems. And finally, I will end with some recommendations for the next coming years. Okay, I would like to start with this sentence from Albert Einstein: the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. And we will talk about imagination around my presentation. How is the present situation? How we can imagine this present situation? I would like to share a video. Please let me know if it works, about how we imagine the future just 1 or 2 years ago. Well, in this video, you can see a picture of a lot of things that are coming very, very fast, and some realities that we face every single day, though it's a future scenario. So, but the things have been changing very, very, very fast. And what we call the post-COVID generation. I'm the grandfather of 2 grandsons, and I can tell you that I could never imagine a situation like that in my life. And this will be something that will have a very, very big impact in the next generations. We have shown how in less than 2 months, almost the entirety of the global education community has been shut down around the world. And the opening of the schools and the educational centers and universities had not been planned according to the context of uncertainty that we live. And still, we are living in a very complex situation. Every single day is even worse. So in this picture, we can see how is this new reality, which is far away what we were living just 1 year ago. So the teachers try to connect with the students. They try to prepare the lessons every single day. They are connected with a lot of computers. They need to work with broadband and Wi-Fi. And the students need to share the computers, the tablets with the fathers, with the parents, and trying to find the best place for the communication. So it's really, really complex. But it's something that will be with us, I think, for today and for the future. But not only in the schools, so it's all the same situation at home. So we have to we are parents, we are teachers, we are managers, we are workers. So we are new citizens connected all around the world with our job, with our parents, and with our offices. So everything is changing very dramatically, and how we are adapting these new consequences and this new style of life to their reality. Okay, Through the recently concluded 2020 year, disruption has been the buzzword that marked all the messages and guidelines for the digital world. And while most world leaders were working in scenarios of permanent change and certain uncertainty, COVID-19 impacted the world in a way that no one could have predicted in any way. In turn, society as a whole and globally organizations, institutions, administrations, educational centers, health in short, society as a whole have had to pivot and design strategies, adapt and change rapidly to the new forms of work, communication, collaboration, how to think and communicate between us. And while international organizations continue to seek permanent answers to the global crisis, exploring and investigating new ways to design and operate and drive the growth, all of this represents a challenge for global society without precedent on previous reference. With what we have found ourselves immersive in a great world laboratory where there are no universal recipes and trial errors has become an unreliable method due to the results we see today. In any case, we must face the situation with courage, innovation, and thinking differently, trying to accentuate and strengthen those areas and opportunities that allow us to overcome this situation successfully. Facing and designing a new model of society, more collaborative, supportive, and sustainable, and with a greater capacity to anticipate unpredictable situations. I'm not especially a fortune teller, and I'm reject to auto-nominate the futurist, but I do like to analyze the study of the consultants firms and opportunity analysis and ways for organizations to be able to advance, redefine, anticipate, and lead the process of change necessary to carry out and the transformation process. And although in this uncertainty, not politically correct saying that all the organizations that are prepared to pivot, accelerate, transform, and permanently adapt to these changes scenarios will be able to successfully face the new challenges of the future. Nowadays, this becomes an increasingly complex task where the need to have the profiles, skills, and team commitment are a very complex issue, especially when we are talking about teams, virtual teams, which are largely virtual, located in different parts all around the world and networked. Technology plays a more differential role every day, and its efficient use in a total competitive advantage. But this technology is increasingly complex, more interrelated, and disseminated in these strategic technology trends do not operate independently one of each other, but they are based on interrelationships and reinforce each other. For this, a team of high skills and abilities is required in a permanent learning process and capable of providing a value higher than provided by technology in an individualized way, understanding and contributing for that forward. And this is the great added value of the transformation data into value. Advanced technologies have been evolved through the later very rapidly, but if there is something especially relevant, the world highlighted is the growing interrelation and interconnection between technologies, people, and data. Therefore, talking about virtual reality in isolation no longer makes sense today. If we don't know, or we do how to work in the framework of ecosystems in the cloud, artificial intelligence, hyper-automation, security, business intelligence, robotics, internet of behavior, and so on. And this change that will definitely mark the great leap of immersive technologies in every single day use in companies, universities, working centers, wherever they are. So today we have to face with a very dramatical situation. The skills and the skills development are an essential component of all efforts in this challenging society. Too many workers are simply unprepared to meet the need of the companies, and particularly in more competitive economic environments. So the question is if we are ready for this new industrial revolution, what we call the post-COVID generation. Okay, let's go. As I mentioned before, during the previous years, we were talking about disruption, new challenges, the society, but everything have changed. And there are a lot of new behaviors and a new collaboration environment that will have a big impact in the new technology mega trends during the next years. For instance, we will talk about Internet of Behaviors, we will talk about human augmentation, distributed cloud, artificial intelligence engineer, and so on and so on. When employees and the industrial side return to the workplace after it was closed during the COVID pandemic, they noticed a few differences. Sensors were used to determine whether employees were washing their hands regularly. Computer vision determined if employees were complying with mask protocols, and speakers were used to warn people to protocol violation. So we can see the collection and the use of such data to drive behaviors is called the Internet of Behavior. As organizations improve not only the amount of data they capture, but also how they combine data and they use data. The Internet of Behavior will continue to affect how organizations interact with people. Okay, according to the last Gartner Top Strategic Technology Trends for 2021 report, they focus especially in three key issues. People centricity, which means despite the pandemic changing how many people work and interact with organizations, people are still at the centers of all business, and they need digitalized process to function in today's environment. We are talking about location independence. COVID-19 has shifted where employees, customers, suppliers, and organizational ecosystems physically exist. Locations independence requires a technology shift to support the new version of business and resilient delivery, where a pandemic or recession volatility exists in the world. So this is the impact, and we can see in this Gardner approach this kind of matrix where the combination between the different innovation factors and the people centricity, location independence, and resilient delivery interact. I will focus on those aspects where the Internet of Things and augmented human intelligence will have the bigger aspects. We can see in the cycle of artificial intelligence for the next years, how will the convergence of different technologies and the evolution and the impact will be growing very, very fast. As I mentioned, human augmentation, hyper-automation, autonomous things, or multi-experience, transparency, and artificial intelligence security will play a major role. So we are in a world that is handled by the image and the perceptions and the sensors. So when we can see that seeing is believing, and we will see how virtual reality and augmented reality are transforming the business and the economy for the next years. The pandemic has created a sense of urgency that is accelerating the digital transformation process in many companies and organizations around the globe. Although this transformation is conceived in very different ways and not always successful, digital transformation is not about applying teleworking as many of operating to reduce cost. For example, in this case, emerging technologies have allowed us to rediscover tools, opportunities, and develop collaborative platforms of high value and undeniable benefit for companies. The digital transformation process requires a process of cultural transformation at all levels of the company to impregnate each and every one in the organization employees with the new work culture and to apply the new work methods and a procedure of efficiency way. The convergence of immersive advanced technologies will apply a strategic role at all this time by being able to share models, prototypes, design, projects, and experiences in real time among team members located remotely in a different part of the planet. So what are the main challenges for the Industry 4.0 for the next coming years? Houston, we have a problem, yes. We have to face with high training costs, high digitalization costs, data integration, maintenance, data visualization, risk performance, quality standards, assessment process, and one thing that I will focus at the end of the presentation, how to build up a talent ecosystem and how to develop. Okay, the main challenges of the Industry 4.0, we can focus on these key success factors. Investment. Investment is related to the increase of competitiveness, and a clear majority of companies believe that the digital transformation in this Industry 4.0 will increase their competitiveness. Utilize opportunities and reduce risk represent a number of major opportunities for all companies. Workforce and skills development, for sure. We need to adjust the talent of the IT resources. More of the companies know that in many areas they don't have the staff they need to make this project of digital transformation. So they need to train and they need to look and to find the right skills, which is not an easy task. And standardization is another very, very important issue, just to prevent the confusion with companies trying to innovate to which standards and will adapt in the next 5 years. And this is really a problem in virtual reality and the different providers of different technologies. And for sure, the last but not least, this rapid innovation, empowering exponential technologies. A majority of companies agree that there are several key technologies that will accelerate the transformation process, and we will focus on that. So finally, we can say that engineers with the right skills, with excellent interdisciplinary experience and experimental training are the demands in the industry that has become acute. So we are looking for real-time data and information and real-time decision makers. So we need higher quality products as results of real-time monitoring and technology convergence, and better working conditions and superior sustainability. So which are the future scenarios? There is a big gap, and sorry about that, but I have to say, because I've been talking and making a speech and congresses in many universities around the world, in the States, in Russia, in South America, in Spain, and in India. And I can see there is still a big gap between the industry and the university. And we have to reimagine the industry transformation. So imagine how the impact of the virtual reality and extended reality can have in the Industry 4.0. We always hear about the benefit of using this technology for training or education. But if we focus on repair and maintenance tasks or design and assembly, we can identify a lot of tasks where the benefits of applying this technology are really amazing. For instance, view reference videos, remote expert assistance, digital twins, visualize specific components, to collaborate in virtual environment, digital instructions, simulations, visualize infrastructure projects, overlay design projects over the 6 existing modules. So the benefits are quite a lot, and the potential of that. So if we can see the trends of how XR can help the augmented work is really impressive in the different areas and sectors, and the average is above the 21%. I will not go into the details. If you want, you can drop me a line and I can share all these figures, because we have from the VARA Association studies that can support all this information. So the rise of VR AR for the next year and the impact on the GDP will be really impressive. Only just some figures to support my words. But how we can do that? This is the big question. So the digital devices are being increasingly adapted for learning and education purposes for many years. This can be particularly observed in almost in the last century, at the end of the last century, beginning of this one, a period when networked computers for collaborative learning were intensively used. And during the last year, so-called one online digital learning became widespread. But how we can close the gap? This is really the main topic I want to focus today, because we are talking about Internet of Things, augmented reality, blockchains, artificial intelligence, robots, blah, 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 blah. And then we have the curriculum at the schools and the educational centers, vocational centers, and universities. And when the students finalize that, and they end the career, they have to look for new academic or new centers or MBAs where they need to complement their studies, because they don't have the right skills, they don't have the knowledge to start to work in the future companies. And this is a big problem. So we need to close the gap, and we need to understand how this ecosystem is working right now. And we have to put all the stakeholders together, because the industry is global. So the different companies are working with the same methodologies and the same profiles and looking for the best solutions all around the world with a global vision and making the best product for all the companies around the world. But education is local. The learning process, methodologies, and training is local, and the teaching methodologies are local. And the industry needs to close the gap, and we need to understand how it works. So we have to work all together. So there are a lot of mega trends in the smart education that we have to focus, but I don't have enough time to go in this in detail. But I will tell you just that the gamification, the classroom, a set of devices, redesign the learning spaces, and the use of personalized learning and VR, XR, and artificial intelligence will be, or well, not will be, are already the most important topic at the moment. So, and what about that? So we need a roadmap to success. So, and we need to develop a talent ecosystem. Otherwise, we are going to run in the same wrong direction, and we are not going to give the solutions to the society that is demanded. We need to cover all these demands. So I brought to this page a recent study developed by Forrester consultancy together with Unity, in where they were in contact with more than 300 managers all around the world from the most important industry, just to understand how they were using 3D real-time elements or programs. And the results were really impressive, because one thing is what we see in the videos, we see in the congresses and the different events, and the other thing is the impact of the technology in the real life and most of the competitive companies. So more than the 94% of those want to adapt, and they need to expand their investment in 3D. But there are still a lot of companies that they are not using 3D tools in real time, but they want to use it. So they need to transform the processes, they need to train the people, and they need to hire new skills and new profiles that are not ready in the market. And this is time consuming, and this is a big gap and the opportunities that we are losing right now. So today we can see that immersive experience is one of those that has already made an impact in the digital world. The immersive experience is where the physical world and the digital world came together. Just to give you an idea, the European Commission made a study 2 years ago about the demand of the needs of experts in extended reality in the market for the next years, and they made an estimation about of 750,000 of experts will be demand for the industry for the next years. So, and this is really a problem because there are no universities, there are no vocational centers or educational centers where you can get this expertise right now. And this is a big gap. So when we try to understand the technologies and how to use it when we talk about immersive ecosystem industry, I think this is a clear picture where you see all this interrelationship. So we have virtual reality, create the digital environment. We have augmented reality where you can overlay the digital environment with the reality, mixed reality when you can blend and put it all together. Immersive is when you create multisensory digital experience, and the 360 videos when you can provide the real experience with the creative experience. How it works in an example. Okay, you can see it in this picture. So when we want to create a ecosystem in one industry, let's say in one petrochemical plant or gas, power, air, or whatever, we have a different process that we have to reconstruct. We have the design, we have to build, and we have to operate the plant. When we are talking about designing, we need to use different components, different parts of software to create the different part of the plant, of the situation. When we want to build, we need the authoring tools, and we need to recreate this virtual environment. So we need platforms like Unity, Unreal, or whatever. And when we want to operate, we need training, and we need the digital twins. So we need to integrate the real life with the virtual environment, with real data, and we have to simulate protocols. We need to create digital manuals where we need to put it all together and to make it happen in real time. Getting data in real time. This is very, very important. So the benefits when we can apply that is that we are going to have a very important cost reduction, just not only for training. Imagine the cost when you are, just to give you an example, HP is spent around $3 million per year in the training of the people in in the biggest printers, in high printers, because they have to move people from all around the world to Barcelona, to the States. Today, they develop a virtual reality program that it costs around $1 million, and they reduce just $2 million per year, just because the training and the effectiveness of this training program in XR. So you can minimize the risk, improving productivity and quality, preventive maintenance, you will have better informed decisions, and so on. And all those sentences are based in real experiences from companies and industry, especially in the industry and automotive. So how we can develop this talent ecosystem? And this is the most important and relevant part of my topic today, I think. Well, first, we need to develop this innovation ecosystem. We are working with universities all around the world, and I can tell you when we work with students that they have been studying design, programming, or whatever, and they started to understand the immersive world and virtual reality, they need a process that it takes between 3 and 6 months to understand how to change the mentality and how to use these new technologies and how to use the programs with this new mindset. But also we need to train the teachers. So not all the teachers are ready to understand this immersive environment. So we need to integrate the soft skills with the technical skills and to understand the new competences to provide value to the community. One of the studies that we developed recently about the state of art of XR in the education sector discovered that the biggest gap, according to this research study, was the training of the teachers. They were not able to teach virtual reality technologies in a good way. Development of innovative collaboration programs, which is very important to integrate the industry and the final user, the university, in one ecosystem that can create value. The quality and inclusive program, which is very, very important. And the core focus on real value and differentiation factors. So learning by doing and learning for best practices from the industry, working on the standards and certification, which is really one of the most important issues when we are going to work in this new environment. And something with it is critical, absolutely critical, is innovation fast hubs, including the stakeholders. The program of creating startups from hubs is very well known all around the world, but we need to accelerate all these processes because the society is working for that. So some ideas about that, how we can imagine to create a program and to put the stakeholders and action steps. Well, I put here some ideas that we are putting in relevant with some universities and some organizations around the world. And first is the general objective is to create a training for tech program, just for vocational training. This could be a program for 1 or 2 years, just to adapt the students coming from different centers, universities or schools, and to adapt to these new technologies. To develop a XR Innovation Now program, creating tools to research, growth of business, and to help to a start-up community to build up new technologies and to drive new ideas. The XR industry is now. So I can tell you that, for instance, Volkswagen, Lufthansa, Tesla, BMW, Mercedes are working with this technology for many years, and now they are getting amazing results. So, and the new immersive education ecosystem in schools, we need to integrate the smart labs and emerging technologies. And we have an estimation that it will take about 5 years to start with those programs. When we talk about best practices, we are collaborating with the European Union in many projects, with the University of Texas, in Emirates and South America. We are partners of HP and Acer, and we are working with companies all around the world. So these are the examples where we can use our methodology and we can develop our methodology and implement it in other countries, like we can see in this picture in Lithuania, where we have a very amazing results. The implementation will not be the same in every country because the culture, the ecosystem, the educational ecosystem, but we are learning from these best practices and we can share these experiences. We are working in Spain, in European Union, USA, Russia, Malta, Emirates, and so on and so on. So finally, recommendations. Okay, well, this is, I think it was too fast, too many things to say, but I want to express my gratitude to the organization. So then I want to provide my value and my experience. And I think based on that, we can say that first of all, we need to design a strategic global program. This is not to buy some VR glasses and to look for some free apps and to put it on the face of the students and just to play the game. This is not serious, believe me. We need to align the strategic program with education and training centers. We need to design and implement a startup program based on integrated ecosystems, where we have to integrate SMEs, universities, and the industry. Design and implement a strategic program for a long-term sustainable industry development. This is happening very, very fast, and in the States and in Europe are working very good in some countries. Design and implement a digital transformation program in a new education system, which is a must. We need to convince to the governments that they are moving in the wrong direction. They only talk and talk and talk, but they are not changing the system. The system is changing by us because the situation, because the pandemic. So the students are now moving and they're studying at home, and they look for the best resources, the best solution, and this is happening very, very fast, and this is happening now. We have to identify the KPIs, metrics, and monitoring. We need to evaluate the result and to see the impact of the methodologies and the technologies, how we are doing, just to react in time and to improve our processes. And for sure, last but not least, we need to define a digital agenda, including budget, milestones, and a roadmap. And it will take between 5 to 10 years. 10 years is too much, but we know that the education process is very, very slow. So, and now what else? Well, you can imagine a film where VR meets AR, AE, sorry. And now what else? A new disruptive advanced reality ecosystem era, where all these emerging technologies converge in a smart environment. Today, we can see that the integration of artificial intelligence and augmented reality platform are working very, very fast, and this is something that is working very effectively in many industries. And the man-man interaction and long-distance operation, this is something that we can see today, that somebody from India can be operating in somebody from the States in real time, thanks to the technology and the man-machine interaction for long-distance operation interaction. This is something that is happening right now. We can use virtual reality, digital twins, and many technologies. And the future, maybe the machine-machine interaction, so the robots will repair themselves. So the things are changing very, very fast. So why afraid about the future? So we have a lot of opportunities. We have to change the mindset, but believe me, as Albert Einstein said long time ago, the world as we have created is a process of our thinking, and it cannot be changed without changing our thinking. Okay, this was my speech. I think it was in time, 40 minutes. So thank you very much to the audience. You can find me in Twitter, in Facebook, in LinkedIn. And do you have my email address here? And if you have any questions, I'm open to that. So I would like to finalize with a small video about Investion, which is the platform that we are working and we are developing together with some universities and offering to the universities all around the world. Okay, this was my presentation. I want to thank you very much to the organization, and if you have any question about that, I'm open to that. Thank you very much.
Dr. Fernandez, your talk has definitely rendered us high hopes and optimism despite the unprecedented times. I'm sure that the latest technology, as said by you, will offer us not only ease, but an added value in our life. So I want to extend the warm gratitude from the whole team of GNA University, especially Dr. Vikram Sharma, the Dean Faculty of Engineering, for the stupend and fabulous presentation, which is what being followed by the video for giving us a bird's eye view of what you as a stalwart do. Thank you so much, Dr. Fernandez, once again. So moving ahead, we have amidst us for the plenary talk two, we have Mr. Nitin Malwadikar, who holds an experience of 12 years in the IT industry and has spent majority in the CAD industry too. Mr. Nitin is a mechanical engineer and Six Sigma Green Belt champion. Mr. Nitin is currently working with Siemens Corporation, a US-based business unit, and I heartily welcome Mr. Nitin for the plenary talk 2 at the CH 2021. All over to Mr. Nitin Malwadikar.
Thank you. I hope I'm audible to all.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So, good morning, all. My name is Nitin Marwatkar, and as mentioned, I'm working with Siemens as a country technical manager for mainstream engineering. And for this particular session, I won't take too much of time. I'll just give you a brief idea and an introduction into the Siemens Global Academic Program that we have. The whole purpose of the Siemens academic program is to help future leaders and engineers to prepare for what Dr. Carlos just now mentioned, Industry 4.0. And this is being done through various solutions of tools and by providing technical expertise, and most importantly, while maintaining a very strong industry collaboration. And this is what we offer from Siemens. Now,
Nitin sir, can you
yes.
turn on the camera?
I'm sorry, I don't have a camera.
Okay, sir, it's fine. It's fine, sir.
All right. Now, so like I was saying, as over the last few years, the industry landscape has changed dramatically. I mean, you can see that there's the need for high-skilled technical people is actually at an all-time high, right? Now, I'm sure by now some of you must have heard it from your seniors or your friends or whoever it might be. There are a lot of jobs, especially in the field of design, engineering, and manufacturing, which are available worldwide. But then you'll also find, and this is something which Dr. Carlos also mentioned, that not a lot of jobs are actually filled. And this is mainly because of one thing and one thing only. And that is the growing gap between the skills that employees actually need to the ones actually most of the recent graduates have. And you know what? This is exactly what Siemens is committed to. And that is to try and close this particular gap that we have. Now, if you look at the history, it would seem like there's always some kind of a disaster or some kind of a crisis that companies needs to deal with. Now, these can be in the terms of something like your competitors catching up with you really fast, or this can be something like, the trade barriers set up by different regions, which, I'm sure you must have seen, which eventually end up imploding the markets altogether, right? Now, let's not forget the impact from the wars that we had and the natural disasters that we have, and also something which we can all of us relate to, the pandemic as of now, right? But then there are some companies who can turn this crisis or this disasters into an actual advantage for you. I mean, some companies who can actually help drive innovation within. I can give you a perfect example of a company called VinFast from Vietnam. Now, this company started off as a automobile company. In fact, this was the first automobile company from Vietnam, and they were doing pretty well, right? But then, as you know, COVID-19 struck, right? Now, what they did was fantastic. As you know, there were a lot of requirement for ventilators and all. So VinFast, what they did was they decided to manufacture 55,000 ventilators per month. And this is something which they achieved with the help of our digital twin. And you know what? The best part about this is they achieved this in a span of 3 weeks. Again, just a span of 3 weeks, right? That is a fantastic achievement. Now, then the question is, what helps companies, to transform so rapidly, right? Now, what we believe, that is what we Siemens believe, is it's a digital mindset. So let's talk about, what this looks like. Now, over here, we have a chart which actually shows the top skills for the emerging jobs. I mean, you're pretty much aware of it. Jobs in engineering and cloud computing, development specialists, cloud consultant, technology analysis, and whatnot. But what is more interesting is the next 7 are what we call as the emerging professional jobs. And if you have a look at the current growth trends and this hold on, then these emerging professions will probably add somewhere close to 1.7 or 2 million jobs by the end of 2021 to 22. Now, within these jobs, as I mentioned, the highest rate of growth would be in terms of artificial intelligence, data scientists, and specialists as well. Now, the biggest problem over here and the biggest point over here is that the highest demand skills that we just now mentioned in this emerging professional clusters, they require both technical and cross-functional skills. So now the question is, what can we do, and where should we focus? Well, we are focused on helping colleges and universities in developing an engineering education, an education which doesn't mean just adopting new technology, right? But including, we want to create new technology which, within the education, where colleges can actually include it within the syllabus and training as well. Now, we have recently conducted a survey within multiple industries to understand the state of academics as of now. And this is what we found. The following is what they found. And this is that the first one is there is a significant gap in education versus the industry expectations. Students need more cross-disciplines training to support today's business. And everyone across the company, it's not just engineering and manufacturing people. Everybody in the company, like marketing, purchase, support, project management, costing people, need an increased level of digital knowledge, for example. Now, what we did as an employer, Siemens, we had a look at this data, and we decided to adopt this within our own workforce itself. Now, I'm sure all of you are aware, Siemens is primarily an engineering and a manufacturing company at core, right? So, for example, as a part of the Industry 4.0 project in Germany, we identified 25 skills which were relevant to the digitalization. And these skills were from different areas. It was from IT, it was from mechanical and manufacturing, electronics, and these included soft skills as well. Now, what we as Siemens is believe that that digitalization of work, data protection, and information security are integral part of training. And with Industry 4.0, we made major contributions to the improvement of the manufacturing and engineering occupations. Now, that being said, as we are all aware, the current world that all these new graduates and students are entering, I'm sure you must be aware of that. The current world is full of complexity, right? But then, what exactly are these complexities that most of the companies faced as of now? We can break these complexities into basically 2 levels. The first one, we can talk about the product level. Now, this is where we have the integration of engineering domains, such as electronics, mechanical, or even simulation for the matter. Now, one complexity challenge example we can see, I can give you an example, is consumer goods. Now, we see a new trend where manufacturers are trying to make their products as compact as possible, right? And to achieve this, they need to use high density PCBs with more electronics, and they need to put it into really small places. Now, this eventually ends up with organizations having to use analysis solutions like CFD and thermal simulation. So these solutions, along with MCAD solutions, can help redesign, and help address the design complexities that the companies face. Now, second complexity level is at the factory or the process level, we can say. Now, these include something like integrating design, manufacturing, utilization, as well as development. Now, the same principles apply, let's say, while designing of manufacturing and process plans, or even monitoring operations and performance. But most importantly, these complexities are noticeable in multiple ways, and these can be measured by what we call as a financial controller. Now, these financial controller can be in the form of multiple things. It can be in the form of your lead times from a company. It can be in the form of your cost of inventory. It can be the cost of quality as well as rework. And the best part is we can actually measure the result of these complexities as well. We can measure it in terms of the lost revenue or the lost margin, due to the products being late to market. Now, the best thing or the good thing about all of this is that we can turn this complexity into a competitive advantage as well. So what we have done, or what Siemens has done, we have basically identified three business imperatives that most of our customers adopt. First one is that there's a use of a comprehensive digital twin. Now you must be wondering, what is a digital twin? Well, digital twin is, in simple terms, nothing but integrating the design with manufacturing. And the main point over here is that this digital twin has to be achieved at the same time by keeping up with a closed loop feedback. And this can be achieved by the IoT data analytics, from where the data is captured and then fed back to the models, so that the models are continuously refined and updated. But most important, we have to understand that not every digital twin is created equally. So what I'm trying to say is, unless you have a closed loop feedback, where you actually act on the feedback that you get and update the models accordingly, you will end up just creating a mirror and not a true digital twin. Second, we can help companies in taking a personalized approach as well. Now we understand that there are many ways for any company to achieve a digital transformation, but we also understand that it's not necessary that one single approach will work for everyone, right? And all these companies need to be able to work at their own pace, right? And this is exactly the kind of personalization that we offer to our customers. Third, we understand that the customers require a flexible and open system. Now, we also know that there's no organization who is working alone in isolation, right? They depend on multiple other organizations, right? Now, with our digital solutions, companies can actually use cloud-based portals, and you can collaborate with the suppliers, customers, partners, and distributors as well. So what we're saying is, with the help of our cloud-based collaboration tools, all of these companies can actually collaborate with the suppliers, partners within an ecosystem with the help of our open ecosystem. And to help us with this, there is something which Siemens has developed, and what we call it as an accelerator. So basically, accelerator from Siemens is for helping small scale companies to large organizations to get into digital transformation, or to go for digital transformation. So with the digital twin, at the core, we can actually help in enabling the three different worlds that we have when it comes to product design. So first one is design, realize, and optimize. So basically, accelerator helps companies in getting to the future. The best part is we can get to the future faster and predictably as well. And this is where Solid Edge plays a big part, a part of this digital transformation. Now, it's very important to understand that Solid Edge is much more than a CAD system. Yeah, of course, for years it's been known as a mechanical design solution. I'm sure most of you know. But then what about the rest of the solutions? The solutions that we just mentioned about about analysis, or we talked about electronics, right? So what about the solutions that you actually need to succeed as a business? Well, over the last couple of years, we from Solid Edge and Siemens, we have brought in multiple new solutions. And these solutions, the purpose of these solutions is to help customers in every aspect of product development. It can be starting from the concept design to manufacturing the actual product as well. So, like I was saying, when we talk about Solid Edge, it's much more than mechanical design. We have introduced multiple solutions like electrical design, simulation, and manufacturing as a part of the Solid Edge portfolio, along with technical publications, data management, and now what we have is a cloud-based collaboration as well. And the best part about these solutions is not only do they help the companies in developing the products faster, but they help in developing the products more efficiently as well. So let's talk about the next generation of design, for example. Now, when you talk about next generation, it's not just about creating interesting and complex shapes as such, right? It is also talking about how about increasing the productivity. something which is the core of your design process, right? And the question is, when you're working on this, when you're trying to increase your productivity, why do you need to use tools? Why do you want to use tools and technologies which are of 1980s? Don't you think there's something better? Well, of course there is. I mean, Siemens came up with a new technology which we call it as the Synchronous technology, and this is an integral part of Solid Edge. The best part about this Synchronous technology is that this allows designers and people working on CAD files to make rapid changes to CAD files. So basically, with the help of synchronous technology, what we are saying is we stop the dependency on history-based modeling. And the best part about synchronous technology is, we allow the import of multiple CAD formats. So it doesn't make a difference whether you're working on Edge or you're working on some file formats which are available in the market. You can still import that and still make some rapid changes to the design. So let's have an example over here. I mean, over here we have a small jack on the left-hand side, which is the original design which was created. But as I mentioned before, current world, every customer is looking for a customized version, right? So the right-hand side is a customized version that the customer, one of the customers is actually looking for. So I'm sure a lot of you have worked on a design. I'm sure a lot of you must have worked on your design projects as well. So let's say from a designer's perspective, how much time do you think, creating this new version will take? 1 hour, 2 hours, half a day? Probably. Well, if the designer is working with, the patented synchronous technology, this can be achieved in 2 minutes flat. It sounds difficult to believe, right? So let's have a look at how it was done in this particular video. So now the best part about, synchronous technology is like, we are not working with features at all, no. And we are not dependent upon the sketches and the relations that you provide in the sketches and all these things at all, no. What we are doing is we are working directly on the models itself. Now, that's the kind of flexibility that allows us to make the required, changes, and that too rapidly. That's not to say that we are making the changes at the sake of, the assembly relationships or the assembly constraints, like we tend to call it, right? No, all the relationships or mates, like you call it, remain intact when you're working with synchronous technology. And we believe that this is exactly what is going to benefit the companies. Flexibility for the designers to make mass customization, and that too quickly. This is good. This is what will help an organization to get their products, faster to the market. So you can see somebody who is experienced in synchronous technology, in the span of less than 2 minutes, is able to make the change from original version to a new version, right? So that's the power of synchronous technology that we have inside Solid Edge. So when we talk about Solid Edge, and we talked about synchronous technology, right? So this is the core which is driving the synchronous, which is driving the Solid Edge portfolio. So when we talk about Solid Edge, yes, mechanical CAD is the bread and butter of Solid Edge, like we just now mentioned. But we have multiple other solutions within the portfolio as well. So let's say, for example, you are an electrical engineer, and you want to create your single line or 3-phase circuits from scratch, right? So again, we have a fantastic solution which is a part of the portfolio, which is called as electrical design solution. And the best part about this particular solution is not only can you create your electrical circuits, but you can validate your electrical designs as well. Whether there are going to be any short circuits or whether there's going to be any voltage drops and whatnot. You can do all of this within the electrical software itself. So coming back to your mechanical design or your electrical design, let's say, for example, you're done with a design. Now, maybe you want to see how your product actually will work in the real life scenario, right? So you want to see whether when you have some stresses or when you have some forces or when you have some constraints to your design, how is it going to work? So this is what you can actually do, which you call it as analysis. We can do a virtual analysis within our solution with the help of what we call it a simulation. So in case if you're looking for FEA analysis in terms of stress, strain, if you want to find out buckling, or even if you want to find out thermal analysis in terms of steady state or even transient heat transfer, we do have a solution for that. Not only that, in case some of you might be working on CFD, computational fluid dynamics, you want to find out the flow of a particular fluid through, let's say, pipes and whatnot, we have a solution for that as well. Now, once analysis is done, then let's say your product, you're confident of your design, your design will is good to go, then maybe you would like to manufacture it. But we have a solution over here as well. We have something known as, what we call it as CAM Pro. Now, CAM Pro is a fantastic solution and actually a great asset for manufacturing people, and especially for companies who have 3-axis, 5-axis, or multi-axis machines, right? So we have the necessary tool by which you can create the toolpath for all these machines as well. Now, let's say you're done with your manufacturing, your product is ready to go, and you want to ship it across, or you want to give it across to your customer. You just don't give a product to your customer. You give some documentation which goes along with it, right? So that is nothing but a technical documentation. This documentation can be in terms of your user manual. It can be in terms of your installation guide and whatnot, right? Now, the best part about Solid Edge technical publications is we call it as a next generation of technical publications. So what we are doing is you already have the 3D designs ready with you. With the help of technical publications, you can import the ready 3D designs. And the best part is, irrespective of which CAD tool that you have used for creating this, even if you have used any other CAD tool besides Solid Edge, we can still import all these 3D designs or 3D models inside technical publications for creating a wide variety of documentation, be it your user manuals, like I mentioned, or even your maintenance guides, or even your manufacturing instructions, or even when it comes to the sales catalogs or brochures. You can create all of this with the help of technical publications. And I'm sure all of you are aware, when you have companies, now companies are not going to be working only on one particular product. They'll have multiple products. And when you have these many different solutions over here, you can imagine the kind of data that gets generated, right? Especially when you're talking about design, you can think about all the files that get generated, like your part files, your assembly files, your drawings, your Excel files, your PDFs, your Word documents, and whatnot. So the most important part over here is how do you manage that data? When you have so much data, how do you manage it? And the most important part for us is how do you manage that data securely? Because like I mentioned, all the things that we just now mentioned, the part files and all these things are related to your design. And design is the intellectual property of the company. So once that intellectual design gets compromised, then your company is done, right? So that's why you need to have a solution which can not only manage your data, but you can also manage your data securely, right? And this is what we offer with the help of the TCRS or Team Center Rapid Start from Solid Edge. So now, what we saw just now is how Siemens Solid Edge can help companies, especially from who are small to medium or even large enterprises adopt digitalization. But then you must be wondering, what is in it to you for academic? I mean, this is not this is a primarily academic program, right? So as a students and teachers, what is in it for you? Well, as a student, you must be thinking, how can I update myself with the unnecessary skills for landing that dream job that I want? So how can Siemens help me over here? Well, for that, we have the Solid Edge Academic Bundle. Now, this Solid Edge Academic Bundle is a part of the complete offering from Siemens. The whole purpose is to support STEM teaching and in academics, institutions globally. Now, well, for starters, we have seen that Solid Edge can be a solution, but then I mean, the next question that you might be is how can we get this solution in the first place, especially when you're working as teachers and when you have students, right? Well, for students and teachers alike, we have a fantastic preparation. We provide you with a free access to both the student and the teacher's editions of Solid Edge. This Solid Edge edition will help you and provide you with the complete capabilities which are required for designing. Something which is just not discussed. And all you need to do is, you just need to head out to a website and fill in your college details, and you can download the solution for free. And this will be available for you throughout the year. So any student who's working on the final year projects, or they're looking for a CAD solution to bring your ideas to life via 3D modeling, then this is an ideal solution for you. Now, that's not to say that we have left the colleges or universities behind. No. From 2020 onwards, we have come up with a new academic bundle which gives the colleges and the universities the access to the best that Solid Edge has to offer. So, be it Solid Edge MCAD, be it topology optimization or FEA or CFD analysis, piping design to electrical design as well. And least we forget, the same package has the access to the world-class CAM solutions, which let you operate on the machines up to 5 axes. So all in all, the complete solution to address all the needs of engineering are available in this particular bundle. And when we talked, as we talked about before, we are not just providing you the tools to work on, but we are providing with a complete curriculum to learn from. Now, some of you might be interested in robotics, or some of you might be interested in electrical design, and some of you might be interested in analysis as well. Well, we provide you with the step-by-step tutorials, which can help you in building your own designs. And we also provide you with tutorials which can help you in to start working on your own projects as well. Now, we talk about conceptualizing a design to virtually analyzing it, and you can actually see how it will look like after manufacturing with the best class solutions as well. The same solutions which are actually being used by small scale to enterprise level organizations are available to you directly from Solid Edge. Now, as far as the academic content is concerned, we have broken up the content into 2 learning tracks. The first one is a starter pack, where you you'll get to learn about what is 2D and what is 3D design. Then you'll also get to learn about the basics of robotics and mechanisms and all of these things. The next level is what we call it as an advanced level. This is where you learn about advanced designing like reverse engineering, design, and convergent modeling, which is something which is very unique to Solid Edge and Siemens. Now, finally, when you work so hard to go through a curriculum and successfully completed a project by working on it day and night, right? And at the end of it all, you want to show off your acquired skills. You, after all, need to land up your dream job, right? You need to let the recruiters know that you have what it takes for getting the job done. So, what is the best way to show off your designing knowledge? Well, the best way to show off is taking the certification exam and adding it to your resume, of course, right? So again, over here, we can help you out in terms of academics. So for that, we have 3 levels of certifications. The first one is called the Mechanical Associate level. This level of certification is meant for college level or university level students. The best part about this certification is that it's available for free for all colleges and universities. Again, it's completely free for all the universities and colleges. So in case you're interested in the certification, please get in touch with college or please get in touch with us for that. The next level is what we call it the professional level. This is actually meant for designers with some level of experience on design. And the third one is something which we call it as the expert level. This is meant for the super experienced users that we have. And just to give you an idea, this is the kind of the digital certificate that you get from Siemens. Once you finish the certification that you just now saw. Now, what we saw until now was with regards to Solid Edge, right? But then Siemens Digital Industry, as you know, has a lot more to offer. So the Siemens Digital Industry software portfolio, we have, it's huge. I mean, it reaches across engineering domains. So basically, we provide you with a common tool set. We provide you with a tool set which will help users like you in setting up the way for collaboration across cross-domain teams. This is again very important. The cross-collaboration across domains is something which is very, very important in current world. So, irrespective of whichever engineering stream that you're from, we have you covered completely with the curriculum that you have. So let's say, for example, you're coming from a computer science stream, right? So we have solutions like MindSphere, which is an IoT platform developed by Siemens. We also have solutions like Polarian and Mendex for you to learn. Then if you're also interested in aerospace, or if you're interested in automobile engineering, then you can have the access to class solutions like NX and SimCenter. If you're also interested in, let's say, robotics, and again, we can learn about a solution Technomatics and see for yourself how companies like Maruti Suzuki are using the solutions in assembling the cars within their factories itself. Now, the best part about Siemens is that we provide you students and the teachers both a free curriculum library. So basically, we have created a curriculum which is a creation of materials which is written by the professors at top institutions around the world, and these are backed by the subject matter expertise, of industrial leaders. I mean, this can be from Siemens ourselves and from our customers as well. Now, the curriculum download library which we see over here, we offer the packages that include lecture slides, it includes notes, video tutorials, lab exercises, model and part files as well. And the good thing about this particular library is that we keep on adding material to it constantly. So let's say when you check back after some time, you'll see something new has been added with this library as well. Now, something which is very essential to know for colleges and universities is like we sponsor some real-world competitions around the world with the software training and support as well. For example, we have something known as Formula Student. So here, what students do is they build a single seat Formula race car, which they can compete with against teams all over the world. But the competition is not won just by defining who has the fastest car. No, but the competition is won by by a team which has an overall package of construction and performance. So basically, what we are looking for is that the race car must have very good driving characteristics such as acceleration, braking, and handling. It should also be offered at a very reasonable cost and should be reliable and dependable. Right. Green power is another unique design build challenge that we have set up. And this is actually meant for students between 9 to 25 years old. Over here, students can design and build a single-seat electric car with the help of Solid Edge or NX to compete in head-to-head races. And the best part about this is the production and assembly of the green power cars that we just now mentioned delivers a very practical and a hands-on learning experience for all students. With this particular, the sponsorship, the students can actually learn fundamental engineering and scientific skills which are required for creating this particular car. Now, this is again something very interesting for the budding entrepreneurs, like we call it. Well, now we understand not all students who are graduating would want to start working in other companies. Some of you might actually want to start your own businesses, or you might want to start your own consultancy firms, or you might even want to launch your own product to the market. But then when you're talking about starting your own venture, your revenue is pretty limited, right? And we at Siemens actually understand that. So that's why, to help budding entrepreneurs like you, we don't want you to waste your limited resources in designing solutions. We actually have a fantastic offer for startups. For startups, we provide you with a free commercial software for you. And this includes the world-class post-sales support from Siemens technical team as well. And to get this, all you need to do is you need to apply for the startup license. And once approved, you'll have the access to all the things that Solid Edge has to offer. And when we say, the best of what Solid Edge has to offer, we actually do mean it. Not only are you getting the access to the advanced mechanical CAD solution with Solid Edge Premium, but you're also getting access to the complete portfolio of solutions that we have discussed over here. So what that means is you get access to electrical design, FEA, and CFD analysis. You also get access to creating your technical documentations with the help of using TechPubs. You have piping design, which includes PNID design, and of course the best in class, the CAM solution, that is a Solid Edge CAM Pro. Now, just to give you an idea, over 2,000 startup manufacturers worldwide have already taken advantage of the Solid Edge for Startup program. Now, like I mentioned before, this program basically enables manufacturers to take advantage of the premium level of Solid Edge, and this is actually meant for 1 year. So here are some of the examples of these companies. Startups in over 40 different countries have actually opted for this. Now, before we close off today's session, I would like to start off, or I would like to actually share a story. A short story. I won't take too much of time. I would like to share. Share a story from a company from UK, with whom we engaged with, around 20 years back. And at that time they were working on a typical challenges of their time, bringing innovative products and ideas to market. But the problem was the existing development platform was something which was keeping them back, and they wanted to move from 2D to 3D design fast and efficiently. Right. So today, this particular company is around $4.4 billion, right? And it is very well known for their innovative products. And most importantly, they are considered as a technical and a leader globally. So of course, I'm sure you know what you're talking about. I'm talking about a company called Dyson, a great company which has great products and which is very well known for the innovative vacuum cleaners and bladeless fans. I'm sure some of you must have seen them, right? So basically, Dyson is using wide range of Siemens technologies, not just Solid Edge, but it uses the complete a portfolio of solutions from Siemens to bring the latest products faster to the market. And the best part is they started off with soldage many years ago. And of course, we understand that, not every company can become a Dyson. You would also like to remind that, that's true, but today's small and medium businesses can actually be tomorrow's leaders as well, right? And for engineering students, you're the future of industries tomorrow, right? So we at Siemens would like to partner with you on a digital transformation journey. So, by working with schools around the world, Siemens is actually, like I mentioned, is helping you to close the skill gaps and connect the employers with the academic institutions that will actually help in developing the new age of digital transformation. So, that's what we had to offer. So that's it. Thank you once again for spending your valuable time and attending this particular session. Again, my name is Nitin Marwatkar. In case you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to address them right now. Thank you.
Mr. Nitin, must say your presentation has given us a very thorough insight into what the GenX is doing under your relentless tutelage at Siemens. Much thanks to you for being an integral part of CH 2021. Believe me, no event, whether it's big or small, can stands the united endeavors of an unbeatable team. It indeed makes me and the contributors swell with pride and adds more vigor and sense of encouragement for the impending future events once there is a sense of gratitude in front of you. To acknowledge the joint efforts of the team who is involved either at the forefront or at the back, I call upon the ever lively Dean of Faculty of Engineering with his amazing sense of humor to offer his gratitude to everyone who's involved in the CH 2021. Calling upon stage is Dr. Vikrant Sharma, the convener CH 2021, for his vote of thanks for CH 2021 to the August gathering.
Good morning, everyone. It has been our pleasure to virtually host all the experts, presenters, and delegates of the conference at CIPT 2021. I have been organized so many conferences in India and abroad, but this time, due to COVID-19, it is a new experience for me as I have to manage everything virtually. The virtual conference is not possible without the support of full team. So everyone has to contribute for making it successfully. I am very thankful to all the authors, participants, presenters who contributed in the conference. We have received around 70 research papers from all over the globe, and out of which 47 papers were selected after pre-review. We have been fortunate to have eminent personalities. My sincere thanks to Dr. Manoj from National University of Singapore. Thank you, sir, for your interesting and thought-provoking keynote address. I want to extend my gratitude to Dr. Ion Cosmin from Romania for giving keynote address on cybersecurity. My gratitude is also due to Dr. Kumada from University of Tokyo, Japan for his wonderful address. I am also very thankful to Mr. Nitin from Siemens for his valuable 4.0 industrial exposure. My special thanks to Dr. Corles from Spain for delivering talk on augmented reality and virtual reality technology. I am sure that the participants must have benefited by attending this conference. I am very much thankful to the management of GNA University, especially Pro-Chancellor Sir Sardar Gurdeep Singh Sira, for his continuous support and for believing us, which has a greatly helped towards the successful conduct of CIPT 2021. My special thanks goes to Honorable Dr. V.K. Ratan, Vice Chancellor, GNA University, and Dr. R.K. Mahajan, the Registrar, GNA University, for their encouragement. I sincerely thank the members of Advisory Committee for their valuable suggestions. I am thankful to Dr. Monica Hanspal Dean Academics for her all-time support and help. I will be failing in my duties if I will not thank Mr. C.R. Tripathi, Dean FEDA Design and Convener CIET 2021 for his support in organizing the event. My sincere thanks to Dr. Anurag Sharma, Professor FEDA Engineering and Convener CIET 2021 for managing this event wonderful. I am also very thankful to Vikas Tumber for his hard working during the publication and proceeding. I take this opportunity to thank all the reviewers and technical committee members for providing their valuable comments in time and help towards the improvement of the quality of the papers presented in the conference. I am also thanks all deans and HODs, especially Dr. Samir Verma, Mr. Rajesh, Mr. Mandeep, Mr. Hari Krishna, and Mr. Gurpreet for their encouragement and all-time support. I acknowledge the support received from the faculty and the staff members of GNA University. My thanks also goes to all the people who have given their precious time in organizing the event. I am also very thankful to the session chairs, Dr. Ethiram, Dr. Ikyumkar, Dr. Rikesh, Dr. Sarabjot, and Dr. Harjeet for their valuable inputs during the technical sessions. My thanks also goes to Dr. Hitesh, Mr. Rahul Joshi, and Kamaljeet Kant for wonderfully managing the technical sessions. In addition, the gratitude goes to Dr. Disha Khanna for very well managing the stage. I am also want to acknowledge the services of our accounts and media department, especially Mr. Kuldeep, Mr. Atul, Mr. Malik, Mr. Avtar for designing branding of the event. I am also very thankful to all the research scholars who have greatly helped us in organizing the conference. Thank you very much to all.
Thank you, Dr. Vikrant, for your vote of thanks for the CH 2021. I'm sure this would be a beautiful reminiscence, and we're going to meet in 2022 with the same CH in the next year. Thank you so much.